Hello people of the web and YouTube, Dtpk here, welcome back to Hack Time! Woo! So okay guys, if you couldn't tell by the name of the video, today I'm back with another USB rubber ducky tutorial video, but today's tutorial doesn't really need to be done with a USB rubber ducky, and I'll get onto that later on in the video, but for now, let's just take a look at the USB rubber ducky script. Now, if you never messed with DevCon, chances are you don't know what it does, and I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown on what all it can do before I just jump into this. Basically, DevCon is a Windows device manager, and what that means is it can basically disable or uninstall Windows drivers, and in today's tutorial we're going to be basically disabling our keyboard drivers as well as our mouse drivers, and with that said, we're basically going to be disabling them, then creating a loop to disable them. So basically they're not going to work at all until we plug in another drive that is labeled key into the computer. Now, you don't really need another flash drive for this tutorial to work, but I highly recommend getting another drive because it simplifies things. But if you really want to, you can actually just take out the SD card in your Ducky, rename it key, and then just plug it in a little adapter that Hack5 generously gave me for the USB rubber ducky, you know. Then you can plug that in and gain access to your keyboard and mouse. But yeah, with that said, let's just take a look at the code, shall we? First of all, I want to give a big shout out to, well, Xcoder for helping me on this. Normally I don't ask for help, but I'm glad I did because he came up with a really kind of, well, ingenious and simple way of doing this, and all you really need to download is an exe and throw it onto your SD card on your USB rubber ducky, and once it's on there, we're gonna need to do a few things to set it up. So how about I actually show you what this attack does before I actually show you how you perform it, okay? So first of all, I'm gonna plug in my USB rubber ducky into this little extender thing I got here, and basically this is what we're gonna be, well, doing in today's video. It's gonna run command prompt and look for our SD card on our USB rubber ducky, then it's going to copy over DevCon with hidden attributes to the user directory of this computer, and then run it. And basically once it's ran, as you can see, I got no access to my keyboard and to my mouse, but if I want to gain access to my keyboard and or my mouse, I just plug in my little flash drive that is clearly named key into the computer, and any second you can see I got my mouse back. But there are a few things wrong with today's script, and basically, if you have like a wireless keyboard, it sometimes won't automatically turn back on. As you can see, I'll hit the Windows key here, and I got nothing, but if I were to hit the arrow keys on my plugged-in keyboard, you can see that keyboard works just fine. But with that said, this code does need a little bit of work. It isn't 100% perfect, and you can still use your touchscreen after you enable this and even don't have your key in. But with that said, it works pretty good, and let's just take a look at the contents on our USB rubber ducky now that I got it plugged in. Now, as you can see, I am running the Twin Duck firmware on my, well, USB rubber ducky, which allows me to use it as a mass storage and keyboard attacking tool. But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the folder where I have all my like quick little files installed to. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make a folder called Files, then called DevCon, and then you want to throw in this exe, which I'll have a download link for in the description down below. And well, basically I might actually throw this whole file here in the description down below just to make things a little bit simpler. And what you want to do is you want to put these files on the root of your USB rubber ducky. You want to be sure to have DevCon 64, DevCon 32, and the DevCon exe, which Xcoder made. Basically, DevCon exe here, the one that Xcoder made, it basically looks for a drive labeled key, but you can change this rather simply. But let's just get back to the actual code for now, shall we? First of all, as you can see, we open up a command prompt, and then we go and navigate to our flash drive, navigate into that files folder on the root of our flash drive, and as you can see, I have this file completely hidden. So basically, once this gets copied over to the user's computer, the person won't ever find this folder. It will be completely invisible to them unless they have this unchecked here, well, checked I should say. But yeah, anyway, Once it's copied over, it will take about 2 seconds. It might take a second depending on what computer you run this attack on. And basically, well, after it's copied over, we navigate to the user profile, go into DevCon, then we run that exe that Xcoder made with our password, or well, our key. In my case, my flash drive is called key, and as you can see, there it is, key. But if you want, you can easily name this whatever you want by hitting F2, I believe. Actually, oh yeah, I can't use my keyboard, I forgot. The wireless one has a bug. If I were to hit F2 on my plugged in keyboard, everything would work, but I'm just gonna right click it for now. What you would do is you'd right click your drive, hit rename, name it whatever you want. You can have this be some complex numeral that no one will ever have their flash drive named as, and then once you plug it in, you will gain access to your computer. Basically. Now, as you can see, I have mine called key because in my script here I have it called key, but if I wanted to, I can call this whatever the hell I wanted. For whatever reason, I can call that 000, and that's basically what DevCon would look for to break that loop, basically. Now, to undo this attack, it's rather simple. You can actually just restart the computer. As you can see, I don't have this set up to, well, start on Windows Startup, but then again, I will change this upon user request and throw that in and probably simplify the code a little bit more, just to make things a little bit easier, I guess. But for now, I'm pretty much done with this tutorial. That's basically all I had to really talk about, and if you can't understand this small little bit of code, let me know and I'll teach you on how to set this up for your own drive and things. But for now, that's basically it for today's tutorial. But first of all, I want to say this. As you can see, my my USB Rubber Ducky, the SD card is called Pro Drive, but if I wanted to, I can name this key, and then this would still work fine, you know. I just have to plug in my USB Rubber Ducky to break the DevCon loop. But yeah, guys, if you wanted to reduce your hardware footprint, you can easily name your SD card on your USB Rubber Ducky key, and then just take the SD card out of your USB Rubber Ducky, put it in the little adapter here, and plug that in after you run the attack, and this should still work just fine, because basically, you don't need anything on your drive for this attack to work. All you need is your drive to be called key, or whatever you decide to call it, and plug that in your computer, and it should unlock your keyboard and mouse. As you can see, I unplugged it from my computer and I lost access to my mouse as well as my other keyboard. But if I were to plug this back in, I will gain access to my mouse any second. There we go, and my keyboard. But as you can see, it's not always perfect, because right there it didn't really stay on but for like 5 seconds. Xcoder, however, has updated me with a newer exe, so I might actually update this script for you guys and put what I changed down below in the description. But for now, guys, like I said, I'm pretty much done with today's tutorial, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave the video off here. Dtpk signing off. Peace. But yeah, what you want to do is you want to install Flip, create a shortcut to the desktop, and then you want to invert the colors so that the black is showing while the white is actually what you want to be shown.